What is up, humans? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, we shape and polish gemstones using a dremel. If that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing. Today, we're going to be working on this just off-the-charts piece of purple haze sunstone, and you guys can see that there is all sorts of flash coming from all different angles. It's got a great, red, there's greens in there, there's some blues and purples and pinks, and it just looks so much like space. I could not resist shaping it. It is the best quality piece of this material that I have. When we weigh it out, the starting weight is 10.92 carats, and when we measure it, it is 11.93 millimeters wide, 13.49 millimeters tall, and 9.89 millimeters thick. When we shine a flashlight through it, you can see that it's mostly clean, but it does have a crack running through the one side of it, and it could go through in a unfavorable spot. So if you guys want to see how this stone gets shaped and polished and turned into a beautiful jewel and set into jewelry, keep on watching. So starting out here with a bit of a game plan, since I do want to try to set this in jewelry, I am lining this up with a corresponding oval to the piece that I want to fit it to using my stencil that I got here from 53 Frogs, and you can see that this oval pretty much does a good job at filling out most of the shape of it there. But I want to cut off kind of that peak of the stone, since I'm going to want a medium to low dome on this, since it is a sunstone and I want the flash to be hitting the face entirely. So I'm going to slice off this nugget, and then I can shape that into a smaller stone later if everything goes to plan. Maybe not in this video, but maybe some other time. So this is what it looks like with the top of it cut off. You can see it's a little bit flatter, and there is flash on that side as well. This is the little piece that I ended up with, and I do think that that could make a nice little stone. So moving forward, I am taking down the sides of the stone, and there was that crack that you guys saw that kind of was going into the stone at a little bit of an angle, but also on the opposite side of the stone there was a piece of it that was quite a bit thinner than the rest. So I was kind of trying to get to the middle of both of those to get a good shape and get it to be a thicker stone. Now, I could have taken the side that pointed up towards the peak that I sliced up as the face, but the part of the stone that I showed off in the beginning, that the seller, Gecko Stones, it seems that he had polished that side to kind of show it off a little bit. I really want to make that the face because I can see that the color is really bright. I can already see that that pattern is phenomenal, and I want to have that pattern in the finished stone because I can't imagine a better pattern. But who knows? You never know until you finish the stone what it could end up being like. But that was my plan. So yeah, I kind of start by getting it into a puck position, and then I flattened out all those weird jagged pieces off of the back of the stone that I had brought the slicer on, and then I'm moving the stone and flipping it and moving it in a circular motion to try to make sure that all the sides are flat. And as I'm doing this, I'm continually comparing it to my setting to make sure that it will fit my setting. And so when I move on to my black Nova point here, I have checked it against the setting and it's still a little bit too big, and that's kind of how you want it, because you want to, on the black Nova point and the brown Nova point, file it down to make it fit your setting relatively perfectly. So I didn't really have much of a dome on the stone at this point on the diamond sintered 110 grit, the previous coarser grit bit. I kind of filed down a little bit of the edges to get the sharp edges off of where I want the face to be, so that it's easier to kind of tell which side is which if I drop it or something. But for the most part, I did almost all of the rounding of the edges and the doming on the black Nova Point. As you can see here, this is where I started to get the dome going on, because it's going to be so flat, and I really want to make sure that I take the time and check it out and make sure that there's no sharp edges, that there's no divots going on in it, because it's very easy to accidentally leave the stone not moving for a second and then you have a bit of a crater in it, and that is never desirable. But once I was done with my black Nova Point, it nearly fit into my setting, but it just quite didn't. So then I'm bringing in the edges of the stone with the brown Nova Point and kind of finishing off the shape there, finishing off the dome. At this point, I am really making sure that the dome is perfect before I move on to the silver Nova Point, because the silver Nova Point and the pink Nova Point don't take very much off. It's all about polishing with these bits. And I did end up with a bit of a flat back on it, but I ended up at the end, before I set the stone, going back to the black Nova Point and kind of bringing in those edges a little bit so that it sat better in the setting. And then I went through these again. So that's something to keep in mind, is sometimes when you have too sharp of edges on the back, it won't fit in your setting quite right, but sometimes it will. It all depends, and you just got to keep checking it out and keep checking for scratches. So here at this point, once I was done with the pink Nova Point, I went on to dopping, and you can see all my syringes of polishing paste right there. And I'm moving the stone in a circular motion, starting with the edges and then moving in towards the edges of the dome, and then getting the whole face, and just kind of repeating this for each felt tip here using my diamond lapidary paste that I got from Kent's Supply. And I got these felt tips from Amazon, and I kind of do suggest that you get better quality felt tips. I think I got like 100 for $10 or $15 years ago, and I'm still using them. They still work, but I feel like it would be in your best interest to get better felt tips than the ones that I got. And you can even just have a couple of felt tips and use cerium oxide, and just take more time to keep an eye on it. There's a little bit more of a dust hazard with cerium oxide, but not very much. Since the lapidary paste is suspended in wax, if I did this on a separate day from cutting it, I wouldn't need to wear my mask. I would really just need to wear my goggles and maybe a COVID mask, but not like a dust mask. So that's something to keep in mind, and that is really the biggest reason why I prefer these lapidary pastes, because I feel like I have a little bit of freedom in that way. And then here I've frozen it, and then I took it out, and you can see how easily it comes off the dop. And this is what the finished stone looks like, guys. You can see that it has really phenomenal schiller is what they call it. It's really flashy. It super looks like space. I love it when you can capture the little sparkles with the big facing of the glittery sparkles all at once. And I didn't realize this until later, but the back of the stone looks like a lion's face in space, and I feel like it was a little bit of a missed opportunity, but it is what it is. I didn't realize until after I had set it, which here you can see that it fits really well in there. And so I made sure it fit. I popped it out. This is the glue that I'm using, and I just use a dot of it. I run it around the edge of the setting, and you can use resin for this as well. And then I just made sure that the side that was the brightest fit the best. And I forgot to weigh the stone before I set it in the setting, so I have an extra setting of this kind. And I'll just weigh that, tare it, clear the scale, and then put my necklace on it, and it should give me a pretty good idea on the size of the stone, which it looks like it is just about 3 carats exactly. So yeah, I am super happy with the way that this turned out. It's like a little galaxy in the necklace, and I couldn't be more pleased. It's stunning, it's bright, it's got that beautiful dark base. I love the stripes running through it. And yeah, I missed out on having the lion's face as the face of the stone, but you still see it in the open back, so not all is lost. This is it in a little bit better of lighting, so you could see the flash more, and it's just unbelievable. I just found about this type of material not too long ago, and as soon as I saw it, I had to have some, and this is just, it's phenomenal. It's some of the best sunstone I've ever seen, and I've never seen a stone look so much like space in all my life. Like, sometimes some pinfire opals look like stars in the sky, but this just looks like a whole nebula thing going on. It's unreal. I hope you guys like it as much as I do. And I have just about reached 700 subscribers, so I'm doing a giveaway. If you want to enter the giveaway, I am putting up the names of each of these giveaway items. There is 3. I just need you to guess down in the comment section below what weight you think that it weighs, and whoever gets the closest weight to the actual weight of the stone wins it. And I will let you know under your comment if you have won. You guys get 2 weeks to keep on guessing. You get as many guesses as you want. You can update your comment or leave another comment. I don't care. Just whoever gets the closest guess wins. And I have a parcel of opal. Sunstone 1 is a Tanzanian meteor shower sunstone, and Sunstone 2 is the purple haze sunstone material that I just worked on in this video. I really thank you guys for watching this far in the video. If you are still watching, I would appreciate it if you would give this video a big thumbs up and let the algorithm know that my video is enjoyable. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. 80% of you are not subscribed. Leave a comment if you have anything to say. Enter the giveaway, but also leave another comment if you want. You know, it's another way for the algorithm to know that my video is enjoyable, as well as sharing it with your friends to make our community stronger. And I'll see you guys next time that I post a video.